Hello everybody. Our today's topic is set theory for the class BCCA Sem 4. The topics covered in this lecture will be the set, what is set, then the methods of set representation and notation, types of sets, set operations, and some examples of set operations. Set theory. Set theory is the mathematical theory of well-defined connections called sets of objects that are members or elements of the set. Set theory is the branch of mathematics and it deals with the well-defined collection of objects. And these objects can be numbers, people, book, letters, or letters of the alphabet. It can be anything. These objects may or may not be mathematical type of nature, such as numbers or functions. And this theory is less valuable in direct application, but it is very useful for solving complex and sophisticated mathematical concepts. Sets are represented by capital letters like A, B, Z, K, etc. And the elements of these sets are represented by small letters such as A, B, C, M, etc. These are some examples of set. Like in the first example, we can see the set given by the rule prime numbers less than 10. So this set contains 2, 3, 5, 7, and these numbers are included in the braces, the opening brace and the closing brace, and it is separated by comma. So here we can see that these are the numbers, these are the prime numbers which are less than 10. In the next example, we can see in the opening closing braces 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comma, dot, dot, dot. This set indicates that the list of natural number n goes on forever. That is, it is infinite set. Set of numbers 2, 4, 7 and 8 can be given as in opening bracket 2, 4, 7, 8 and then closing bracket. Set of vowels in the English alphabet can be given by A, E, I, O, U. So these are the vowels which are included in the opening and closing brace. Representation of a set. The sets are represented in the two ways. The first one is the roster form and the second one is the set builder form. In the first form, all the elements are enclosed within braces and they are separated by commas. For example, a collection of all the numbers found on a dice n equals to, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As we know that on a dice there are 6 sides, 6 faces. So the set n will include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Properties of roster form. The order in which the elements are listed in the roster form for any set is immaterial. Like, for example, there is a set named as V which contains the elements as A, E, I, O, U, and it is same as U, O, E, A, I. So it is immaterial. The set is immaterial if it is written in any order, if its elements are written in any order. The dots at the end of the last element of any set represent its infinite form and indefinite nature. For example, a group of odd natural numbers. Odd natural numbers are 1, 3, 5, then 7, 11, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 27 and so on. It is infinite numbers and it can be represented as dot, dot, dot. When we know that the set is infinite and in the indefinite nature, then we can write it as dot, dot, dot at the end. In this form of representation, the elements are generally not repeated. For example, the group of letters forming the word pool, P-O-O-L, pool, the elements, the set which contains the elements will be P-O-L. That means we need not repeat the element O again. These are some more examples for roster form of representation. Here we can see A equals to 3, 6, 9, 2. So in this way we can represent the elements in the roster form. The second form of representing a set is set builder form. In this form, all the elements possess a single common property which is not featured by any other element outside the set. For example, a group of vowels in English alphabetical series. The representation is done as follows. Let V be the collection of all English vowels. That is, if V is a set which contains all English vowels, then it can be written as X colon X is a vowel in English alphabetical series and then bracket close. So in this way the set is represented in the form of set builder. Properties of set builder form. Colon is a mandatory symbol for this type of representation. Here we can see the colon. So this colon is mandatory, it is compulsory to write. Then after the colon sign, we write the common characteristic property possessed by all the elements belonging to that set and it encloses it within braces. So this is the common property which is shared by this element. We have to write the common property which is shared by this element and then we have to close the bracket. If the set doesn't follow a pattern, its builder form cannot be written. Some more examples for set builder form of representation for a set. We can see here a set D which is equals to X. We have an element named as X and its characteristics is it is an integer and it belongs between -3 and 19. That is, X is an element which is greater than -3 and less than 19. So here D, the roster form of D will be as -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 19. So this is the representation of a set both in the set builder form and roster form. Then next is O equals to Y colon Y is a natural number greater than 5. So this is the set builder form of the set O. But if we write the roster form of this set, then the set will contain as the numbers greater than n natural numbers greater than 5. So the n natural numbers greater than 5 will be as 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on dot dot dot. That means the set will be a infinite set. Then next is I equals to F, where F is a 2-digit prime number less than 1000. So the roster form of I will contain the digits which are prime numbers but which are less than 1000. So prime numbers like 2-digit prime numbers. Here we should notice that we need 2-digit prime numbers. So 2-digit prime numbers will be like the 11, 13, then 17, 19 and so on, which the last number should be less than 1000. And next is the R. R equals to S is a 2-digit natural number such that sum of its digits is 4. So R set will contain the elements where the numbers and the sum of the digits or the sum of the numbers will be 4. So R will contain the numbers like 22 because 2 plus 2 is 4, then 40 because 4 plus 0 is 4, then 31, 3 plus 1 is 4, then 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. Because we know that we need only 2-digit natural numbers such that sum of its digits is 4. So the roster form of R will be 22, 40, 31, 31. Then next is the X equals to M, where M is a positive integer less than 40. So here the roster form of set X will be all the positive numbers which are less than 40 but not 40, because the condition is or the characteristic is the positive number or the integer should be less than 40. Here we will see some two examples of the roster form and the set builder form. First example is, write the statement of representation of set for a Fibonacci series in roster form. So we know that the Fibonacci series, it is a special series which gets its next number by adding the previous two numbers. So in the roster form, the Fibonacci series can be represented as A equals to, in opening closing bracket, 1, then again 1, because we know now that 1 plus 1 is 2, so the next third number will be 2, then again 1 plus 2, 3, 1 plus 1, 2, then 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 3, 5, 3 plus 5, 8, 5 plus 8, 13, and so on. It will be an infinite series. Fibonacci series is a special category series that gets its next number by adding the previous two numbers. The next question is, write the statements of representation of set for an unbiased roll for a dice. So in the roster form, the set A will contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we know that the dice has 6 faces or the 6 sides. So set A will contain 6 digits, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if the same set, if we want to write it in the set builder form, then it will be written as A equals to x colon x is a natural number less than equal to 6. Because we know that all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the natural numbers. So our characteristics or the features are written as x is a natural number less than equal to 6. Our next topic is types of sets. The first type is subset. A set A is called a subset of a set B if all the members of A are also members of B. And the symbol is A subset B. It is symbolized as this form. And also we should remember that any set is a subset of itself. And also phi is a subset of any set. Phi is an empty set or the null set. It is always a subset of any set. Next, if both A subset B and B subset A, then A and B will always have the same members, exactly the same members. In this case, A is always equal to B, that is A and B are the same sets. If A is a subset of B and B is a subset of C, then indirectly A will be a subset of C. Example, the set A which contains the elements as 1, 3, 4. It is a subset of the set B which contains the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Because we can see that 1 is an element of B. It is also element of B. Then again 3. Again it is an element of B also. 4. Again it is an element of 4 also. So we can see that all the elements of A are contained in B. Therefore, A is a subset of set B. And in this case, B will be called as superset. The next type is empty or null or void set. Any set that does not contain any element is called the empty or null or void set. The symbol used to represent an empty set is empty set. We can see the opening closing bracket are there, but there is no element in these braces. So it represents the empty set, or it can also be represented as by using the symbol phi. Examples, we see some examples. Let A equals to, this is the set A is written in the set builder form. Let A equals to x colon, where x is greater than 9 but less than 10, and x is a natural number. And we can see that between n and 10 there is no natural number. Therefore, set A will contain no element. It will be always empty. So it can be represented by opening closing bracket with no element inside or by using the phi symbol. Then the next example is let W D colon D greater than 8, then D is the number of days in a week. Here it is given that D should be greater than 8, and the characteristics is what? D is the number of days in a week, and but the set W will be empty because we know that there are only 7 days in a week. So therefore the set W will contain no element. The next type of set is finite and infinite sets. Any set which is empty or contains a definite and countable number of elements is called a finite set. Sets defined otherwise for uncountable or indefinite numbers of elements are referred to as infinite sets. This is some examples. The first example is if the set A, it contains the vowels like A, E, I, O, U. This set will be called as a finite set because it represents the vowel letters in the English alphabetical series. And we know that in the English alphabetical series there are only 5 vowels. So set A will be called as a finite set. In the next example, B is a set which contains an element X, and X is a number appearing on a dice roll. And this series or this set, it will be also a finite set because we know that on a dice there are only 6 faces like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are only 6 elements in this set B. So B will be called as a finite set. And then in the next example, C contains an element P where P is a prime number, and this set will be an infinite set because we know that there are infinite prime numbers. In the next example, D equals to K where K is a real number. This set is also an indefinite set because we know that there are infinite real numbers. The next set is equal and unequal sets. Two sets X and Y are said to be equal if they have exactly the same elements, irrespective of the order of appearance in the set. Equal sets are represented as X equals to Y. Otherwise, the sets are referred to as unequal sets, and they can be represented as X not equal to Y. Some examples, we'll see some examples. If X is a set which contains the elements as A, E, I, O, U. If the same set or the same elements are written in the another set like O, U, I, A, E, then also both the sets are equal because both the sets contain the same elements but only the order is different. And they are called as equal sets. In the next set we can see, next example we can see, if C equals to 1, 3, 5, 7 and D equals to 1, 3, 5, 9, then we can see that only 1 and 3 are the common elements in these both sets. Sorry, 1, 3 and 5, even 5 is common. Only 7 is different, and here also 9 is different. So only 3 elements are common and the 4th element are different. So these sets are not equal, they are called as unequal sets because all the elements are not equal. In the next example, if set A contains the elements as B, O, Y and B contains the elements as B, O, B, Y, Y, then also A will be equal to B because both contain the same elements irrespective of the repetition of the elements B and Y. The elements or the sets A and B will be called as equal sets. The next is equivalent sets. Equivalent sets are those sets which have an equal number of elements irrespective of what the elements are. We'll see the example. If A is a set which contains the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and B is another set, it is in the set builder form. It has an element X, and X is a vowel letter. And these both sets A and B will be called as equivalent sets, because we know that the vowel letters, the set B, it will also contain the vowels like A, E, I, O, U, which are 5 elements. Therefore, set A and B will be called as equivalent sets. In the next example, we can see that we have a set named as S, which contains elements as 1 to the power 2, 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 2, 4 to the power 2, and so on. That means it contains natural numbers, square of natural numbers. Then we have another set in the set builder form, T equals to Y colon Y square, which belongs to natural number, or which is a natural number. So here also Y is an element and it is a natural number, and we have to write the set as collection of elements of the natural numbers which are the square of natural numbers. So it will be also infinite set. This is also an infinite set, S is also an infinite set, and even T is an infinite set. So both are equal sets. Next is singleton set. These are those sets that have only a single element. We will see one example. Like E is a set which is written in a set builder form, which contains an element X. X belongs to N, and X raised to 3 or X to the power 3 is 27. And we know that it is a singleton set with a single element 3, because we know that there is only a single element 3, where 3 raised to 3 equals to 27. Therefore, the set E will contain only a single element 3, and therefore it will be called as singleton set. In the next example, W is a set which contains an element V, and V is a vowel letter, and it is the first alphabet of English. So the characteristics of V are given as, like, it is a vowel letter, it must be a vowel letter, and at the same time it should be first alphabet of English also. And we know that A is a single element which is a vowel, and also it is the first alphabet of English. Therefore W will contain only a single element, that is A, and therefore it will be called as singleton set. The next type of set is universal set. A universal set contains all the elements of a problem under consideration, and it is generally represented by the letter U or S. In any application of set theory, all the sets are likely to be considered as subsets of a particular set, and this set will be called as the universal set or the universe of discourse. And using the geometrical terminology, the universal set is also called as space, and its elements will be called as points, and it is represented by the letter U or letter S. Example: the set of real numbers is a universal set for all natural, whole, odd, even, rational and irrational numbers. Then again another set which have a 6-phase dias. So we know that the dias, it has 6 phases. So the universal set of S will be the universal set S will contain the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The next set is power set. This set is much different from the other sets. It is a collection of all the subsets of a given set is called a power set of that set under consideration. If the set A is finite and it contains n elements, then there are 2 to the power n possible subsets of A, including the null set phi and the set A itself. You can see this definition with the help of example. Here we can see the set A. It has the elements 3 and 5, 3, 5, and its possible subsets are, with the help of definition we can see that the possible subsets of A will be phi, the null set, then the A itself, then the A itself, so 3, 5 and the elements 2 raised to n possible elements, that is 3 and 5. So the power set of A is the family of sets, that is f equals to 5, then 3, then comma 5 and then 3, 5. In another example we will see, let T is a set which has the elements as A, B, C. Then the power set of T has the following, that is 2 raised to 3 equals to 8 elements. As we know that the set T, it has 3 elements, that is A, B and C. So the power set of T will be calculated as 2 raised to 3 which is equals to 8, and therefore the family set should have 8 elements. Therefore we can see here f equals to 5. We should include the null set. Then we should have all the elements of the T, that is A, B, C. Then the combination of these elements, that is AB, then AC, then BC and then ABC. So this is the power set. Disjoint sets. Two sets are said to be disjoint if their intersection is the empty set. That is, both the sets don't have any common elements in them. We'll see one example. Set A, it has elements as 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Then set B, it has elements like 2, 4, 6 and 8. And we can see that both the sets A and B, they don't have any common element between them. So set A and B will be called as disjoint sets. Our next topic is operations on sets. There are various operations which can be performed on the sets. So we will see them one by one. The first operation is union. The symbol U is employed to denote the union of two sets. Thus the set A union B, which can be read as A union B, or the union of A and B, is defined as the set that consists of all elements belonging to either set A or set B, that is, or both. We can see one example. We can see the Venn diagram also. First we will see the example. Find the union of A, which contains 2, 3, 4 elements, and B, it contains the elements as 3, 4, 5. So A union B will be as 2, 3, 4, 5. So as the definition says, it contains all the elements belonging to either A or set B. So we know that A contains 2, 3, 4, and 3 and 4, it is also contained in the set B. Only the set 5, only the element 5 is different. So A union B will contain as 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the Venn diagram which shows the A union B. We can see that A union B, it contains all the elements of both A and B. The elements which are repeating, they will be written only once. The shaded portion tells us that A union B, collection of all the elements which belongs to either A or B. So this is the union operation. The next type of operation is intersection. The intersection operation is denoted by the symbol. You can see the symbol. The set A intersection B is read as A intersection B, or the intersection of A and B. It is defined as a set which is composed of all elements that belong to both A and B. So we will see one example. If A is an set which contains the elements as 2, 3, 4, B is another set which contains elements as 3, 4, 5. Then what will be the intersection of A and B? The intersection of A and B will contain the elements as 3 and 4, the common elements. We have to write the elements which are both in A and B. So with the help of Venn diagram, we can see the shaded portion tells us it has the elements which are common to both A and B. So this is the operation intersection. The next type of operation is complement. The complement of a set is the set of all elements of the universal set S which do not belong to A. Then it is written as A prime. This symbol is read as A prime or A bar. We will see one example. S is a set which contains the elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is an universal set. And A is another set which contains 2 and 4. Therefore, the A complement will be 1, 3, 5, 6, because we know that the A complement will contain the elements which do not belong to A but belongs to the universal set. So here we can see that A has 2 and 4. In the universal set also it is belonging to the universal set also. So the A complement will contain the elements of the universal set which do not belong to set A. So A complement will be 1, 3, 5 and 6. Since the complement of A, it has the set of elements which do not belongs to A, then it is also sometimes called as not A or negation of A. And here we can see the Venn diagram of A complement. The next type of operation on sets is Cartesian product. The Cartesian product of two sets A and B, denoted by A product B, is defined as the set consisting of all ordered pairs A, B, for which A belongs to A and B belongs to B. We can see in this diagram now, there are two sets A and B. Set A contains the elements as x1, x2, x3, and set B contains the elements as y1, y2. So now the Cartesian product of A and B will be as, it will be the ordered pairs, that is each element of A will be paired with the element, each element of set B. So we can see here x1, y1, then x1, y2, then next x2, y1, x2, y2, then x3 will be paired with y1, and then x3, y2. So this will be the Cartesian product of the element of the set A and B. We can see here the Cartesian product of A and B: x1, y1, x1, y2, x2, y1, x2, y2, x3, y1, x3, y2. So they are placed in the form of pairs. We'll see one example. If A equals to x and y, A is a set which has elements x and y. We have another set B which contains the elements as 3, 6, 9. Then what will be the Cartesian product of A and B? Cartesian product of A and B will be the ordered pairs, all the ordered pairs of A and B. So the first pair will be x, 3. The next will be x, 6. Then x, 9. Then again the another element of y will be paired with each element of set B. So y, 3. Then again y, 6. And the last one y, 9. So this will be the pairs of A Cartesian product of A Cartesian product with B. The next operation is set difference. Difference between sets is denoted by A minus B. It is a set containing elements of set A but not in B. That is, A minus B will contain all elements of A except the elements of B. We will see one example. If set A contains elements as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and set B contains elements as 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then what will be the set difference? What will be the difference between A minus B? So A minus B, it will be what? It will contain all the elements of A but except the elements of B. So we will see here now. 1 is an element of A, it is not the element of B, so in difference it will come. Then again 2 is an element of A but it is not the element of B, so in difference it will be included. Then again the next 3 is an element of A but we can see that 3 is an element of B also, so it will not be included in A minus B. Then again 4 is an element of A but it is also an element of B, so it will not be included in the difference. Again 5, it is included in A but it is also included in B, so it will be not included in A minus B. So A minus B will contain all the elements of A but not the elements of B. Similarly, if we write B minus A, you should know that A minus B and B minus A is always different. They will be never equal. So we can see here B minus A. So B minus A will be defined like it will contain all the elements of B except the elements of A. So we will see now B minus A. 3 is an element of B but we can see that it is an element of A also, so it will not be included in B minus A. Again 4, it is an element of B but it is also an element of A, so it will be not included in the B minus A. Then again 5, it is an element of B but it is also an element of A, so it will not be included. Then again 6, it is an element of B but we can see that it is not included in A, so it will be included in B minus A. The next 7, it is an element of B but it is not an element of A, so it will be included in B minus A. Again 8 is an element of B but it is not an element of A, so it will be included in B minus A. So in B minus A we will get 6, 7, 8, and we should know that A minus B is never equal to B minus A. So I hope today you have understood the lecture. Today we learnt what is set, what are the types of sets, how the sets are represented, and what are the operations which can be performed on the sets. Thank you everybody.